Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun.
All right. Well, my customer calls me. He says, hey, this is before he was my customer. He says, I want you to build me this drill rig. And I said, yeah, okay, I can do that. And so he says, build it like the other one. I'm like, okay, I'll build it like the other one. So I cut out this piece of 1/2 inch like the other one, and it turns out that his rig is slightly different. So the piece that I cut off, now I have to put back on. And it's not too difficult. I mean, I pre-ground all of this, the V's in this. It's not like it's, well, it is kind of a strength thing, but, you know, it's not major. And right now the temperature of the metal is about 30 degrees, so we're going to heat it up a bit and then weld it. All right, let's give this a shot. And then we're going to come in and cut a straight line all the way up this part here. And then probably grind back some of the weld and cut it this way and get it to form with what he has. Okay, everybody's welded. We're going to take it over to the pattern torch table and torch this back off again and kind of get this thing squared up. And then also we're going to put the hole in for the motor, and I think that might be it for the moment. All right, well, the plan is to cut this part off first, and that way we have less to cut going this way. So I think we're ready to rip here. Make sure we're at the right height. I think we're going to do just fine. Back to 2.5, and we are ready to go. Come up just a little bit. There we go. cut that weld like it was butter. That is so cool. And we got ourselves a pretty good cut that time. Almost no dross. Okay, so now we will take this and we're going to turn it around and get it to cut the other side. All right, that was good. Now we need to make one more long cut that direction, and I think it's 15 inches. We're at 20 right there. Okay, that works for me. I think we're ready. Check our direction. We're good. Okay. Fire baby up. Now we've got to put a hole in the center of this, and there's our center point, bang, right there. And our hole size is going to be somewhere in this general area here. So we have got, and I'm going to point you up above, we've got a ton of patterns that we've built up over the last, I don't know, how long have I owned this thing? Maybe a year and a half? But you know, you just keep building patterns because of course it's a pattern torch. And I'm thinking this one might here may work. We'll give it a try. Let's come back down below here. Let's see what that looks like. I'm saying that's about as good as it gets. Well, actually, it's going to be too small because this is an interior one. And we need an exterior. All right, well, instead of having to bend something, we found a collar that we just take a little slice off of, and it's going to be just about the right size. So let's move into the slice mode. I'm thinking that's good. All right, well, instead of the motor bolting directly to that plate, my customer wants to be able to take a smaller plate off, unbolt it, and have it stay with the motor. So that if he puts a different kind of motor in, all he has to do is make a small plate and not adjust everything to it. So what we're going to do is we've got our measurement of this little step down, and we want to go smaller than this in order to cut it out, and then we put it on the lathe and machine it out to what we want, and then allowing for these 3 bolt holes, and then we're going to have a square piece of 1/2 inch plate that will bolt to, and then the square plate will bolt to the larger plate that we just got through cutting on. So we're going to go over to the pattern torch and cut some more. All right, well, first thing we got to do, and I laid this whole thing out. So we're going to have 4 bolt holes in the corners, and then the 3 holes here and here will have some clearance on that. So first thing I'm going to do is, because I didn't drill this out, is I'm going to blast through here with the plasma torch and come back in with the oxyacetylene and finish the cut. Let me get some gloves. All right, we ready? That's all we need. Just a single hole. And now, let's fire up the pattern torch. We'll start it there, and then we'll just walk over to the edge and let it take off. All right, pre. Good cut. Now we want to come back and cut our 2 lines here. That looks pretty good. I like it. Let's cut. And I believe we have ourselves a part. Ready to let cool off and drill some holes and clean out that interior hole, and we're ready to rip. We'll be back. Okay, we got this piece in the forejaw, but there's really no way to get this thing set up so that it's centered. So what we're going to do is we just set up a little pointer here, and it looks like we're a bit off in that direction. I mean, all we're really trying to do is get kind of close. Now the other kind of close I want to get is out here on the point. Let's see what that looks like. Not bad. A little bit in, a little bit in. So let's see how much room we have. All right, we're going to take that over the motor and measure it. All right, well, we got a good 1/4 inch to play with as far as the hole's concerned. So let's go to these outside corners and get those right. And then we'll know, let's see, when we want to come that way. Then we'll be able to just bring that, the circle into the corners. Not bad. Not bad. All right, let's see what our center hole looks like. It's off, but not too far. I think we can live with it. All right, so we got our hole, we got our piece, we're ready to go. Let's start her up and see what we can do. Well, I do believe that I've worn this bit completely out. I don't know. It looks reasonable. Well, it's got a bit of a problem, but not too bad. Not for the pounding it just took. We'll sharpen it. We'll be back. Okay, we've changed bits several times and we're getting right down to the last couple of turns here and we're ready to call it a day. There we go. Alright, I'm going to bring the motor over here and give that a shot just to make sure that we've got good clearance. Always best to try it out if you can, and it works beautifully. So we've got our hole in the center. Now we need to take it out, take it over to the mill, figure out where our other holes are going to be placed, and start punching them. There we go.
Nice.
Okay, Nick Collier again, and it's a new day. Let's see, we're about ready for a snowstorm to roll in here and make everything white. I'm very happy about that. Actually, we haven't had any rain or any substantial rain all autumn. It's now almost December. So yesterday and the day before, I off camera I built the box for this gear box, and it's heavy, but you can see that it's going to house the gear itself and the motor and a big pile of grease. So at this point we're going to continue on. Set this back down. And today we're going to build the door, or the cap, and the other seal ring. And we'll be just about done. Well, except for assembling it and, you know, making it all work. But you know, one step at a time, right? Okay, follow along. Okay, we're going to start today, and we built one of these before. I may have filmed it, but it turns out that it's just a little bit too big. So we're going to build another one, and it'll be a bit smaller, and it'll carry this seal fairly well. Now I'm just thinking about this. Actually, because we have to bolt this one down, there's not enough room for the seal. Let's have a look at the other one. Not enough room for the seal and some screws to bolt it down with. Whereas this one has enough room. Okay, I guess we're going to go with this one. So we need to bore it, which means we're going to want to grab it from the outside. And we're going to have to put the outside jaws in. All right, let's give this a try. So we have to do this so that there's no side crush at all. Now we've got the perimeter set up because this sits on the shaft or on the hub, and if there's side crush, it'll crush it in and squish this towards the shaft and wear this thing out too quickly. So we've still got a bit of edge left here. Oh, I don't know. Not much, huh? I'd say maybe 5/1000ths. Okay, I can live with that. And that looks pretty good like that. Now what we have to do is, well, first thing we want to do is kind of knock off those edges. And then we take it over to the mill and put some screw holes in it so that it can screw to the cap. Alright, we got her done. Let's take it over to the mill and put those screw holes out. Oops, rather away. Nice, good fit. Okay, so we got our little ring set up next to the vise, and I didn't want to take the vise apart because I got it all trammed in. And so now we're just going to center it up as much we can. Something about there. Bring our coaxial indicator down. It looks like we're going to have a... No, I don't think so. There's closer to center. And then we want to get back in here a bit. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's get a little bit more spring action in this. There we go. Something like that. Well, that's pretty close right there. Let's crank her up and see what we got. Within a few. There we go. Yeah, so that's close enough. We're not looking at precision here. We're just trying to get it reasonably centered. Center our indicator out. Take our little pointer here, put it in, bring, oops, so there's center, we're set up there. Bring this out until we can point. And let's get this up. And of course I should have done it from the other side, but I think we're going to be okay. We're going to get that pointed right in about there. Let's measure our wall, which isn't going to be easy. Somewhere in that general area. That's not right. Well, we're hoping to use these screws, but I'm thinking it may not work. Okay, that's going to be 4 right about there. Let's see what that hole looks like. We'll just kind of... I'm thinking we just got to flip this back over. Just takes a second. Now we've got something to work from. All right, that's good. Now we can see if this screw head's going to fit, and it's not. So one thing we can do is we could just trim the screw head down a little bit. Let me see if that'll work. We'll be back.